The evolution of your marketing will be the catalyst for the evolution of your business, and the evolution of your business will provide you with the freedom to focus on the evolution of your life. This is Evolved Marketing with Andre and Brian.
Welcome back to another episode of Evolve Marketing Podcast. Andre Jarmojev here with my co-host Brian Brewer. And our guest today is someone that has been doing affiliate marketing, I think, for almost 2 years now. He's a regular guy, used to work at the postal office and at the bank. Coming off of college, he realized that time was more important than money. His first experience with an online business was a dropshipping business. And that is when he found affiliate marketing after that. So we'll get to see the comparisons that he has with his experiences. So since then, he has gone from having consistent 10K to 40K months, and now making over 100K per month with a brand new program that is out there right now. So super excited to hear his story and all the challenges that he has faced since starting. So without further ado, welcome to the podcast, Tyler.
Thank you so much, Andre. I appreciate you guys both having me on here. It's been a journey, you know. Even if I would have thought that I would have been at this point back in college, or even when I was just joining college, I would have been like, you're a big fat liar. It's just insane. You know, I always dreamed of being able to make money while I was sleeping. I'd watch these YouTubers growing up. I'd be watching Markiplier, PewDiePie, and I'm like, I want to be these guys. Just maybe not even just be them. I just want to be able to make money wherever I'm at, just passively. And so even back in college, that was like a goal that was set in my mind. And so I went through college. My sister wanted me to go into nursing. I didn't want to go into nursing. I may tell you that. And so I was getting pushed and pulled every direction. My parents are entrepreneurs, so I was just like, I'll go into business. You know, why not? Easy. After 4 years, got my bachelor's degree. First job out of college was Best Buy for $13 an hour. And I stayed there for a couple of years, tried to move up the corporate ladder, and that just didn't work for me. Even though I was qualified, it didn't matter how qualified I was. They did not want to give me a manager position. So eventually, you know, I left, went to a bank, couple more dollar raise. And in the meantime, I tried drop shipping 9 different times, eventually to the point where I was hiring people on Fiverr to do the entire thing for me. I ended up making some money with that, but it wasn't until I found Legendary Marketer that honestly everything changed for me, and I started making $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 consistently. But towards the end of last year, October, I couldn't make more than $5,000 per month. So I was like, am I going to have to go back to my 9 to 5? What's going on here? You know, and I'm like, well, that's not an option. So I was making ebooks. I started selling ebooks. I was like, there's got to be a way to make more money. I got to replenish this money that I've lost or that I'm not making. And eventually I was going to try YouTube automation. I even bought a YouTube automation course. I still haven't touched it.
I have a couple of those.
Yeah, I'm just like,
it's a phase, right? Like you buy a bunch of courses and then you mostly don't do any of them, right?
Exactly. But you're just like, this knowledge is sitting there. I can grab it at any time. I can use it, but I don't know. Eventually I found this new program with Philip, and within 1 month I made $100,000. And so
that's incredible.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't believe it. I'm shocked after struggling.
After struggling. You know what, though? What's really interesting is when I look at entrepreneurs and people who've had success online, I heard this saying, and I don't know who it came from, but it was another entrepreneur who says he won't work with anybody who hasn't cycled, meaning anybody can go out there, catch a little bit of lightning in a bottle, start making 20, 30, $50,000 a month. You know, they hit the algorithms right with a good program like you did with Legendary Marketer. But it's when it starts to go down. And I know to some people listening, $5,000 might seem like all the money in the world, especially when you're making it online and on the side. But when you go from making 30 or 25 or whatever you were making a month down to 5, that feels like you're down to nothing. I've been there. I've cycled. I've gone from $50,000 months down to $4,000 months thinking, oh crap, what are we going to do? But you got back. So what that tells me is along the way, you picked up some skills and you learned the process, and you probably also gained some belief in yourself that if you did it once, you can do it again. And we'll talk more about this current program in a little bit here, but I want to, if that's okay, to kind of shift back a little bit, talk about your drop shipping and your transition to affiliate marketing, because I have that same history in my background. In 2015, I had a drop shipping store that made some money, but the headaches were prevalent. And, the margins were not huge. So I switched to affiliate marketing and never turned back. What was that like for you? How was your drop shipping business all set up? And then what changed when you made the transition to affiliate marketing?
So basically, I had tried like 8 different products during that entire process. It's funny because years ago before this, I had been introduced to affiliate marketing. I saw John Crestani, and I was like, this is probably a scam. This is definitely a scam. Affiliate marketing is a scam. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try drop shipping. So one day I'm on YouTube. YouTube ad pops up. I'm here in Thailand and I've made 30 grand this month. And I'm like, I want to do this, as I'm making like $12 an hour. I'm just like, anything sounds better. I want to get out of this hole that I'm in. So I think I bought this drop shipping course, okay, followed everything to a T. And unfortunately, I still lost money. I don't think I made any money. It was a fishing rod. I was selling a fishing rod. And I would watch these people on YouTube who were selling courses, and they were making more money from selling the courses than actually the drop shipping. And while I did have some sales, the customer service is what killed me, because they would be waiting 30 to maybe 60 days for the product, and then they wanted a refund immediately. And customer service was not my strong suit at all. I was just and I wasn't going to hire anyone to do the customer service for me, because I was like already, struggling with money. So it was awful. And then that
Were you
happened.
Were you spending on ads at that point?
Oh yeah,
Man.
Facebook ads and with the pixel and everything. That's primarily how I was sending all the traffic.
Yeah.
It's just I have PTSD from it now.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned the customer service aspect of it, because, that's what ended up breaking me. Is I had a Facebook ad that, it doesn't really go viral, but Facebook ads kind of go viral when people are tagging their friends and they're like, let's get this. And you start seeing numbers that are good. You're like, holy shit, I'm going to actually make a profit here, and you're scaling up the ads. And I had that. And then I went to go fulfill the orders the next day, and my supplier was gone. And it's not that it's not that it was a unique product that only they were making. It's I had variations of the product, and to find a supplier that I could match up the variations with, I was like, oh my God. And I just knew that if I shipped these out, what was going to happen is probably the same thing that you would happen. I'd pay for the product. It would be in transit. And while it was in transit, I'd be getting chargebacks and refund requests. So I was just like, you know what? I think this is the writing on the wall. Let's just go ahead before we even buy the product. Let's refund all the orders. And I sat there and refunded like 300 orders manually. I was like, okay, wow. I think I'm done with drop shipping. Let's go think about affiliate marketing.
But what is it about drop shipping that it intrigues us, like people that have no idea what online business is? Because I started with drop shipping too, but I don't know what was it about it that got me to take action, right, and start doing it.
I don't know. I feel like it's just that they're marketing it so well. I think it has completely to do with how well they are, like as a marketer. They're just selling us this idea, and at that point in time, we're just so desperate for anything.
Yeah, and the idea is passive income, right?
Well, the idea I think is that really resonates is $5 a day on Facebook ads to get started, and don't buy your product until after you've made the sale. And it's like, yes, I've got $5.
See, I didn't have $5 and I still did it.
So, yeah, Andre, I would love to hear about like your experience. And so you said you did this too.
Yeah, so I started with drop shipping when I didn't have any money, right? I was looking to make money on the side and I was just spending money on ads. I didn't buy a course. I didn't have any training. So I was just basically on the trenches doing everything by myself. And then I kept seeing like reviews about, oh, you could get sued by whoever, like just by selling other third-party products. And then I was like, yep, I don't want to get sued. So I basically just stopped.
I mean, that definitely scared me too.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's interesting though, kind of where I was going with this is even though we all have the same failed dropshipping story, right? There's something in that experience that built something inside of us that allowed us to go out there and find success. So that's kind of what I was getting at when I say you've cycled. Even the failures, the non-successes have prepared you to succeed and do it all over again. So let's transition into the shift to affiliate marketing now. You have some knowledge, some skills, at least the work ethic to become an entrepreneur now, if nothing else. What was that transition like? I think you said you started promoting Legendary Marketer. Was that the first product you promoted? And if so, like what was your strategy with traffic and all that good stuff?
So at the time, it was during COVID. And so I was a bank teller at that point. So we were working on the drive-through. And so we would have a lot of downtime. Okay. So I would just be on my phone most of the day. And so I saw people on TikTok promoting Amazon affiliates. And don't get me started on Amazon affiliates, but basically that was where I started first. Okay. And so I saw people reviewing products. And I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go home and I'm going to start doing this. Okay. I'm going to start a channel, whatever. And so I started buying the products and then reviewing the products just like I saw other people do. And then I wasn't making any money. And then I was in the hole again because I was buying the products and no one was buying the products and then plus the commission rate on Amazon affiliates is shit.
Yeah. Like 3%, I think.
Like 1%. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. But then I was like, well, what if I try, ClickBank? Okay. So I go into ClickBank. I saw someone promoting another product. Don't even remember what it was. I was like, I'm going to start making content just like this. Okay. Make $36 in an hour by playing video games. I think everyone's copied that video at this point. So I started a channel on there on TikTok, started promoting this ClickBank product, made a couple bucks. I was like, that's more money than I've made with dropshipping or any of these avenues. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this instead. And then Legendary Marketer started popping up all over the place. Okay. And I was like, what is this? And I think I saw Brian. I saw Brian promoting it. And then I saw Daryl Gray Jr. Daryl Gray is who I was watching him heavily. And he's like 17 years old. And
he was 17 at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Making tens of thousands of dollars. And I was like, I'm over here at this banking job and the 17-year-old is making more money than me. What am I doing?
Yeah.
So I applied and joined Legendary with the sole purpose of becoming an affiliate. I didn't even care about the course. I was just like, I want to become an affiliate for this because if people are making money like this, I need to get on it now. So I struggled. It's funny thing is I watched Brian's videos on YouTube, and that's what taught me more actually than anything else. So, I'm a little bit of I'm a fangirl. I'm fangirling over here.
Well, I'm glad you found it, and I'm glad you got some value out of it. I'm glad it kickstarted your journey, so that always is nice to hear. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. But but for 3 months I struggled. I was like, what am I doing wrong? Okay. And it was my email marketing. As soon as I modified my email marketing, because for some reason I had it going through ClickFunnels instead of Aweber. And so I was like, what is going on? So I go back through, fix everything, start posting on Instagram Reels instead of just TikTok. I grew up to 30K followers in just like maybe 2 weeks over Christmas, 10K, then consistent 10K. And then eventually the next year, 20 to 30K until eventually downfall to 4K.
And what do you think happened? You think it was your content? You think it got saturated, or?
I think I was thinking about this earlier, actually. I think that my account wasn't growing anymore. It was stagnant. So I believe that my audience was getting tired of seeing the same product repeatedly. So my audience, it wasn't that if I reached out any new people, they would have bought. But I think that my audience specifically, my follower base that I already had, was getting exhausted of seeing me promote this product. And so as soon as I started promoting a new product, they're like, oh, I got to jump on this now.
Yeah.
Interesting. And that's when you saw the success. Now, I'm just curious because I've been developing theories over the years. Do you have any idea? Did you say it was like December that you started making $10,000 a month, or was it?
Yeah, it was just so like, how you get the commission and then like a month later you get the payout. Yeah. So it was December of 2020.
Do you have any idea about how long after that, or what month that it started to drop off, and where you started to notice like, oh boy, it's just not performing as well as it used to? I can see the writing on the wall.
September of 2022.
Okay, so you had a pretty good run with it.
It was pretty good. I'm happy with it. It was over. It's funny. It was 420 before I switched over to the other product. So I was like, that's just funny.
You just did some good thinking and meditating on it, huh? And you're like, okay, we need to shift. Huh?
I honestly, yeah, and the thing is like, I was gonna try anything else. I even promoted John Crestani's product for a while, made a couple $1,000. I was like, what is going on here? Why am I making $1,000 with even just this product, but I can't even get people to opt in and become a member of Legendary?
Yeah, or even like upgrade to the blueprints, right?
Yeah, well, I couldn't even then. So like I was getting maybe even before September, I was getting maybe 50 people per day to opt in as a member. It was down to like 2 or 3 or maybe even like 6 max. Come October. And I was like, well, if I'm not getting them in as a member, then I can't make any high ticket commissions. So
and then what was like your mindset? What was going on through your head? For example, because I remember us talking for a while. We've been chatting for a long time now. And you will tell me that, yeah, like it's not doing it for me anymore. Like what am I gonna do? Like, should I find another program, or like what was going through your head right there?
I was in panic mode because because like we talked earlier, like once you have that high, once you're making 30 grand and you go down to 4, you're just like, I was just panicking. I was like, what am I gonna do? And I was so desperate that I wasn't even thinking logically. Emotions were completely clouding my judgment. And it just was not a good. My girlfriend was just like, it's gonna be okay. I believe in you. I may not believe in the product now, but I believe in you, so it's gonna work out. So I was like, I had that like support behind me, but it didn't help because like when you're in that, you're like spiraling, and so you're just like. But I'm like, okay, well, there's people making blogs, they're making the 100K per month. There was this other guy I follow, like Mike Vestile, who's making a ridiculous amount of money just promoting this one product. Maybe if I buy the product he's promoting and promote that, I was like, I was just like jumping. I was like going. And so eventually one day, it wasn't until when I found this new program, just some random affiliate, I think his name was Shawan, messaged me on Facebook Messenger. He was like, you should stop promoting Legendary. There's people making more money and they have less followers than you. And I was like, okay. And so I bought it that day.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I was that desperate.
It's so interesting hearing you talk about the emotions and the spiraling and the panicking and the grasping at anything, really, when you do see that downturn, you can really start to understand like why beginners struggle so much, because they are in that kind of desperation mode, and you have to really get yourself out there, whether that's through, obviously the best situation is if you start getting momentum, but the other side of it is you really have to find a process, trust it, and work it, because when you're in that panic mode, nothing good is going to happen. So you switch over to this new program after trying a couple of things. Obviously, it's working well for you. You're making more money than you ever have before. Before we talk about that, I'm curious, overall, is your marketing strategy and your content strategy, because you're pretty good at content. You got over 350,000 followers on Instagram. You got over 160, I think it was 169,000 followers on Facebook. Did your overall content strategy, for the most part, pretty much stay the same with different messaging, or could you kind of just take us through the differences and similarities?
Yeah. So also in my desperation, when I was in this state, I was just like, well, maybe my content is shit. Maybe maybe I need to start offering like mentorships or like some kind of bonus to people. So in this chaos that I was in, I was like, I'm going to make my own course, and I'm going to offer that as a free bonus for people to, as if they buy this product. So if they buy this high ticket product, I'm going to give them this course for free. And then they have me as like, guidance to the entire process as well. So like my offer had to improve because so many other affiliates were also promoting, similar products. So I revised everything. And then the last month or so, when my content really started to shift, I'll back up. So Instagram had nerfed my views entirely. Okay. I was getting 1,000, 2,000 likes back a year ago. Now, if I'm lucky, I get maybe 500 likes. Sometimes I'll get over 1,000. If I'm lucky, if I'm even luckier, if it goes super viral, 3K, 5K, cool, awesome. So I've also had to deal with that shift too. Like my views are down, and it blew my mind. And it was the most frustrating thing, because I'm just like, okay, here's this affiliate. They're promoting Legendary. I've made this video. This is the exact same video I've made. And it's like maybe a couple 100,000 views, maybe tens of thousands of I'm like, why is my account not getting the views? So it's like, maybe I just need to improve my offer, improve the DMs, offer free bonuses. And that has shifted, that has changed everything. I focus more on a more intimate relationship with when I'm DMing people. Okay. So, I will, and I also have them come to me. And that's something I've also learned in this course, is like, it's like attractive marketing. I've joined courses in the past, and I know Andre will know what I'm talking about with the cold messaging. Never did that with that course, but not too much of a fan of that course. But I have them come to me now. I do CTA posts on every single post, have them go to my DMs or click the link in my bio, which now this affiliate program has a lifetime cookie. So as soon as they click that link in my bio, they're mine. They're coded to me no matter what happens. So I think that's really awesome. But yeah, so there's a bunch of things: bonuses, the quality of my content, and CTAs. I use CTAs all the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your content doesn't suck though, because I have seen your content. Like, I can tell you that straight up, because I have seen your content, and you give so many tools. You are actually there trying to help people in different aspects of their businesses. That's how to be affiliate marketing. Is about life as well. Because you do I don't know how you do it, man, but you do your research, and you're giving everybody like new softwares, new websites to try out. And that's why you have 359,000 followers, right? Like, that's not for nothing, it has to be your content. But I do see that you had to tweak a little bit your call to actions, offering the bonuses in order for you to go to the next level. So that's awesome.
Yeah. No, yeah, thank you. It's been crazy. I've always, from the beginning, always tried to provide value or some kind of educational purpose to my following. And I think that's why I've grown. And then obviously sometimes I'll make some like clickbaity videos, why you should never send photos to anyone, which is like my most viral video I've ever had. And it's just like, it's so funny because like people will complain in the comments and they'll be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This is just metadata. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, keep commenting. Just keep making the algorithm go for me. Please just you don't even know. You're just the cog right now in my system. Like, thank you. I appreciate you. But so it's just funny, just baiting people also too with content.
Yeah, the content, there's really an art and a science to it. Once you figure it out, it can be a lot of fun. When you create this content, and like Andre said, you're giving people different websites that they can use and tools and stuff like that, and really keeping your content varied. Do you strategically do that to try to attract a different or new demographic in, or do you maybe do that to just kind of keep things interesting for people who are staying around, or do you have any insight into that?
Honestly, it's a little bit of both. Okay. So basically what I've done in the past is I've studied all these digital marketers and people who run Facebook agencies on TikTok. And so basically, and to me, an issue sometimes when you become so niche, whatever, into affiliate marketing and only making affiliate marketing content is you're only going to attract other affiliate marketers. Okay. So if you keep yourself broad and you're just kind of trying to help people with education or websites or tools, you're going to bring all these different people in, and they're going to and then they're going to click through and be like, oh, what's this guy actually doing? It's literally just like to entice a new audience group, I'd say. So yeah, you kind of hit the nail right on the head. And it's funny, this is just like all in my head. Like I just do this now on autopilot.
Right.
Yeah.
You see it's working. So, why mess around with anything that's not working, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is there like a ratio that you have? For example, 3 value posts that you post or videos that you post, and then you maybe put like an affiliate marketing one out there, or maybe like a results one?
Sometimes. So now lately, I post just a photo, a carousel sometimes, of just value. And it's just like these photos that are just like this morning, it was like 8 things to do when you first wake up for success. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so like I provide value with that. People eat that stuff up. They're just because I don't know, for me, I would never read this stuff because I just know as a marketer, I'm just like, okay, this is just a bait. This is just to get people to share it, whatever. So I post one of those once per day now, always. And I even post those on Facebook now too. And the shares on those and the likes it's just ridiculous. Okay.
So you're posting those like in your feed, or are they posting them as reels then, or stories, or depends?
Primarily as just like posts.
Yeah.
So like I will take each photo and then just post it. And then like this morning I posted it and like it already had like maybe 30 shares and that was like in 8 minutes. And I was like, how? But so I'll post those. Then I'll post a reel. And sometimes most of the time it's now my old content. I have over 1,000 videos of me just pointing to the screen, just talking about a website or something that for the most part, I don't even have to make new content. But a new strategy that I'm doing is, those captions that pop up and, everyone's using them now, all the super big influencers. I hire people on Fiverr, handle that for me. And the virality, whatever, how viral they go is just increased by maybe 200%. Okay. It's ridiculous. Okay. They just want to, because captions, I have closed captions when I watch movies. I have closed captions when I watch YouTube because sometimes people just don't speak clearly. It's just how it is. So I post one of those, post a photo. And now lately I post a results photo with a video and with a CTA of like, oh, go click the link in my bio, comment down below, send me a DM. And I also have enabled the FAQ feature on Instagram. And it's so basically right now it's like 500K because that's how much I've earned online, whatever. And then it's the message with the link in the bio that I have, click the link, and then that just automatically sends as soon as they type that in and message me.
Is that a new feature or what is that? I never seen that.
That is, as far as I know, it's been around for years.
Really?
But I was just like, I'm just gonna mess around here, see what happens. And so I'll wake up at night and I'll check, and then like I'll just see sent, and it'll just be all these messages that had sent when I was sleeping to just people who were following my instructions on the CTA post.
Do you have just like a canned response that goes out to everybody, or?
Yeah. So then basically from there, from any questions that they have, I basically just, do voice messages, try to make it more personal. Even at some points, I will be like, let's hop on a call. Let's talk about this. And honestly, I'd say I have an 80% success rate of them signing up after I've talked to them on the phone.
Wow. So you can basically have a different response based on the frequently asked question that they're clicking on. Is that what I'm understanding?
Exactly.
Wow. So that's super powerful, because they're basically telling you their one concern, their one objection, whatever it is, by clicking on their frequently asked question. They're categorizing themselves, and then you're giving them the exact appropriate response back right away.
Yep. And it's not even me.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
exactly.
me, but it's, yeah.
You're able to automate it, so that's good.
I know what I'm doing later today.
No, I mean, it's a game changer. And honestly, it blows my mind that, no one else is talking about this. Maybe they just don't want to give it away, but
yeah,
I mean, it's funny because you can give people this information anyways. I'd say 90% won't even do anything with it anyways. That's just how people are.
Yeah.
Right,
So you say you have a lot of content, right? From before. So are you creating new content nowadays, or you're just reposting the old ones?
So yesterday I was just like, I'm going to go back through my old content, and anything that was good, anything that I felt that went super viral, I'm just going to send it to an editor and then just have them recaption everything. So I'm going to have them reinvent the content that I've already created, repurpose. But typically my schedule is Monday through Wednesday, I make content. Okay. So every Monday I wake up, do content research, and then I'll make 8 to 10 TikToks that day. And then maybe go live, maybe not. But I'm exhausted probably by then, because making making TikToks for that amount of time, especially when they're like value based, is exhausting. People don't even know that.
It can be mentally draining for sure.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And I have to have at least an energy drink a day now. Like it's so bad. I hate it. But and then Tuesdays, I typically work on like other business related things. So accounting, blog post, YouTube content, stuff like that. Wednesday is the same as Monday. And then maybe Thursday through Saturday or Sunday is my time, basically. But I've been working a lot more lately. That's the caveat. You make more money. So you're working more. So I'm offering these one-on-one calls with people. So that's, those typically last 30 to an hour. And so I have multiple of those now. And so, yeah, I mean, but it's not too bad, really.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it beats the alternative, working in the bank or, whatever else people do these days. So I want to just, if I could, just kind of wrap this whole content thing up and talk a little bit about your DM strategy and any insight you can give to us. Now, I know we just talked about the automation, but there's a human element to this as well, correct? And if so, can you kind of walk us through what that looks like for you?
Right. So basically, the CTA post will go through. Okay. And then they're going to have some questions for me. And I always, I talk to them. I say their first name. People eat that shit up. That's like the first thing you learn in sales. You always want to say their name. I just make it really personal. But I just say, hey, I've had plenty of failures. I totally understand the situation that you're coming from. I was exactly in your shoes. With this new program, I've had these results, blah, 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 blah. And, I'm willing to take you under my wing to help you achieve goals that are similar to this. Stuff like that, basically. And it'll vary depending on the person. I'll study their profile, see what their situation is. There is like a little bit of like, I go through their page and I'm like, okay, well, is this person going to be able to pan out to be a lead? You have to do that. It's just how it is.
So you're trying to pre-qualify them to see if it's worth the investment of time on your part.
Exactly. So like, if they're not pre-qualified in my mind based on like, basically you just, okay, well,
yeah. Go ahead. What do you look for? Okay. Yeah. Perfect. You're going into it. Yeah. What do you look for?
Like, third world country. Maybe they don't have any photos of them online. And so, okay, with this new course, he says you can do theme pages, but personally, I'm always this huge advocate of like, you need to show your face. You just have to show your face. You will have more success showing your face than you ever will having the theme pages, because if you have a theme page, you're gonna have to have multiple of them. Okay. They're not going to trust you. They're not going to, they need to see a face. And I always make sure to smile. I'm like, because I don't know, they see that and they're like, he's a nice guy. He knows what he's doing. I trust him. He gives me good feeling. You have to think about the impression that you're giving the audience. You need to know what your audience thinks of you at all times. And so, yeah, that's just, so basically I pre-qualify them. Then I send them a voice message, maybe hop on a call if I think they're qualified. And typically they buy. It's just because the offer is so good, because in this particular one, he says he'll get you to 10K or he'll pay you 10K. But there's obviously caveats with that. I read the little text. I know. As soon as they start to build you the funnel, that refund becomes null. And I'm just like, that's genius though.
But it's a huge guarantee. I think back to the days of, I'm a little bit older than some folks. So I think back to like when Mike Dillard was running, his stuff before he shifted a little bit. He was doing webinars and products and info products, and he was doing $7 million a year and stuff like that. And a big part of it was his crazy guarantees. I'll double your money back. If the program was 1,000, I'll give you 2,000 back if A, B, C, and D. And then there's all these caveats, of course. But it's powerful. And obviously it works.
Oh yeah. It's working extremely well. It's because there's another couple that I follow that's also promoting the same product, and they've earned well over 300 over since they just started like a couple months ago. It's just,
what do you think it is? Is it the guarantee, you think, or maybe it's because they also have advisors too, or like people that actually sell the high ticket for you, because there's not a low ticket entrance. You think that's what it is? Having that combination of both, and then also Philip, the way he's involved, I guess you can say that, with his group.
Philip is very involved.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've joined, out of all these other courses that I've joined over the years, Philip he's really trying to be like, I'm really genuine. I'm going to really help you out of this hole. I'm going to make you make this money. Okay. I'm going to, so it's just, he gives off a different feeling than these other people, more authenticity, even if it isn't. Yeah. And he cracks jokes in his videos. He's I was like, this guy is just funny. Like he should be a comedian. Plus he has this thick accent, and it's just like, he's just funny. I don't know. It's just
all those things that get people to take their guard down, and they're like, hey, this guy's all right. Let's go. And I want to be with him. Right. Basically. And that's what I'm paying for, the experience of being with him. So this course is crushing it for you right now, or this program. You're in there, you're creating content. You talked about our content strategy, or your content strategy. So thank you very much for sharing the details of that. I know it's going to be valuable to a lot of people. Obviously, you're doing 6 figures a month or what have you. Where what's next? Are you just like going to ride this train as long as you can and chill on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or do you have a mission in mind, or what does it all look like going forward?
So eventually, I do want to scale this. I want to see how high I can possibly get it. Ideally, I would like to start making 200,000 per month, if not more. Ideally, but eventually, long term, I will probably develop a course similar to this. That's just going to be that's the next step.
You like the structure of it all, and you want to be kind of behind it and have people promoting it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, when I was making this mini course, I was just like, I have the option to make this an affiliate course. I can, have people working for me. But I was like, that's just too much work right now. But I'm just like, the more that I'm in this, I'm just like, is it that much more work than what I'm doing already? So that's probably the next step for me, as I want to build my own little empire and help people and, help.
One question I always like to ask. Yeah, that's awesome. One question I always like to ask of people who are in the DM, so to speak, right? What is your plan for scale? Do you have an idea of what that looks like? Is it just work more hours, or is there some sort of idea that you might have? Or you don't
I
know
believe the next step for me is to automate it even further. I want people in my DMs to respond to all the messages that I have. And then also they're posting my content. And then, so the only thing that I will be responsible for is actually creating the content and posting stories. And then eventually, if anyone sets up a call, basically maybe do like a calendar kind of thing with anyone in my DMs who's like, I kind of want to buy, but I don't know, something like that. But then that would maximize even more of my time. So more automation to get to that point. And that's probably the next goal, because right. I've never been a fan of ads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've also, Philip has talked about this too. He has been hiring people using like influencer marketing. And he's been able to scale. I mean, he's making like 1.5 million now a month with his course. So, and he's grown and like maybe 30K followers on his account from just influencer marketing. So I'm just like, well, my account's been so stagnant now for a while. If I can get some new faces in here, who knows how much money I'll be able to make then. So influencer marketing is my next investment, I'd say.
And in influencer marketing, do you mind sharing what that is to our audience?
Yes. So basically, you find a theme page, something like wealth, I'm sure, which has like maybe, I don't even know, multiple millions of followers, essentially. And you reach out to them and you say, hey, how much will you pay for a promotion? And so you create a post that will send them to your page and how successful you've been. And then they'll go to your page, they check out your content, they follow, and then they click the link in your bio and they possibly buy. And that's essentially influencer marketing. And so you do that on a large scale. You do that with multiple pages, and the results can be ridiculous, but they can also be garbage. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah, it depends on the pages that you actually go to, right? Because there's a lot of pages that they're full of, like, their audiences is full of third world countries, so it's like you're gonna pay them a bunch of money and then you're not gonna get like the return, right? So you have to know which pages are legit in order for you to like get the profit.
Right, and they also could have bots. They could be paying for those followers or those likes, and so you just never really know. So you have to do some research when you're really trying to find people.
And that's the worst. That's what kills accounts. Like if you pay somebody for you to get followers and then you get fake followers and then your account is dead after that. So it's like, how do you come back from it, right?
It's funny is, so this whole growing accounts thing was never like, this is not my first rodeo, essentially. I mean, I'm a photographer. I do photography on the side. So it's a hobby. But years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I was able to grow an account, my photography account, from like 0 to 40K. And like 10 years ago, that's a big deal, especially when you're in Ohio. Oh.
Not a whole lot of photo opportunities. You're not taking a bunch of mountains or
Yeah, exactly.
crater lakes or anything like that in Ohio, huh?
No, just trees and dirt and farmland. That's it. That's
So-
basically it.
So if I could, you mentioned your girlfriend was really supportive of you when things started going down, but I think you said she believed in you, just not in the product. So now that you found the product and things are going up, how does she feel about that?
She's ecstatic. And we're trying to plan trips now. It's funny. I actually planned a trip to go to Florida next month, and then I got jury duty.
Oh no.
I know. So it's just like that. Well, that's funny how that works out, huh? But yeah, I actually, so when I was growing that account back in the day though with the photography, I did the follow for follow method.
Mm. Yeah. Well, how long ago was this? Because that follow for follow method, I haven't heard that in so long.
Honestly, that was 5 years ago, and then that account became like nerfed by Instagram, and that's one thing I hate about these. I can go. I got okay. I got a direction we can go. So my views on TikTok are just, and the crazy thing is, I have over 500K like followers combined with all of my accounts. So
On TikTok.
on TikTok,
Okay.
but I will be lucky to get 1,000 views on most of my videos. They've completely just shadow banned my account from getting seen at all. So I don't even focus on TikTok. I make my content in TikTok, use Snaptic.app, remove the watermark, post it on everything else. I don't even care about TikTok anymore. TikTok has burnt me entirely.
What's interesting about TikTok is I think all the value on TikTok is in the growth. And once that growth slows down, there's really no way to build a community like you can on Instagram or even Facebook. But the other side of that is I think that's what TikTok wants, because I'm running cold traffic ads on TikTok right now. And I've run traffic on Facebook ads before I got 9,000 accounts shut down. And I've run cold traffic ads on YouTube, where, YouTube is one of those things where it's like, if you get a good ad, it can run for a long time, 6 months, a year, sometimes even longer. I am changing my creatives on TikTok every 7 to 10 days to keep them profitable.
Wow.
So that shows you, like, they don't like seeing the same thing on TikTok for very long. So I think that kind of speaks to the potential in TikTok still is the growth. But like you said, once the growth stops and everything levels off, because I have an account like that as well, it's like, what's the point anymore?
I know. And the thing is like, we were just like, well, if I make a new account, I'm probably going to get even more views. And so you just keep jumping, you keep creating new accounts, and you can honestly make the same content you were making on the other account, and you may even get even more views. TikTok is such a strange social media. I loved it back in the day, and then they started changing everything.
Yeah.
But for sales, Instagram is king, I think.
Instagram's beating Facebook for you, hands down.
100%. And what's crazy is I saw back in maybe 3 months ago, I think it was Josh. Josh had his, like, he grew exponentially to 1 million followers just with that simple wall of text content. And I was like, how is this working? And it worked. It's just crazy how it did. And then everyone started copying that. And I even tried it for a bit. It didn't really work for me. It just didn't work. So I went back to my old content, sort of just really heavily posting on Reels on Facebook. And now I'm getting now what's nice is, like, I have that Facebook money coming in consistently. I have the views coming in consistently, but I was struggling with Facebook for a while. So yeah, Facebook, Instagram, those are all I focus on. And yeah, just TikTok.
What about YouTube? I know you have a YouTube channel.
So YouTube kind of burnt me. YouTube burnt me as well. So I had a super viral reel last September. It pushed me to 100K subscribers.
Wow.
From
This is
like
on YouTube?
7 on YouTube.
With a short?
with a short. Yeah. With a short, sorry, I'm like reels, whatever. Yeah. So short with a YouTube short, I posted it. It went super viral. Count got taken down. I hit to 100K. So I didn't even get the plaque. That would have been really nice to have.
Yeah,
That would
yeah,
have been cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's behind, that used to be my account. So yeah, it got taken down. And the thing is, I wasn't even monetized.
It's happened that fast, and either come, easy go, I guess, huh?
Pretty much.
So what was the reason?
It just community guideline violation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was because of shorts, because of the shorts that I had. So they just took it down, and they never tell you why. They never tell you why.
That's true. I think it's been interesting how this conversation has gone, because you can really tell it depends on the type of guest we have, where the conversation goes. Sometimes we get really deep into personal stories. You, my man, we have been all traffic tactics and strategies. So, I mean, that's, I'm one of those nerds who really appreciates that. So this is, it's been a fantastic conversation. One thing we like to do is kind of turn the tables here as well, though, and give you an opportunity, because we do appreciate your time and, of course, your insight so much. If you have any questions for us, we'd be happy to entertain them for you.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so as far as your strategies, what, between the two of you guys, like, what has led to your success? What strategies, what things did you implement into your system that led to your success? Because I mean, everyone out there is copying everyone's content nowadays. So how did you diversify yourself from everyone else?
Yeah, for me at least, the best thing is hard work, right? Like staying consistent. Like nothing's gonna change that. But then as far as strategy, I mean, just showing up every day. I mean, just doing the videos every single day. I had people that I had students under me that I was teaching them how to make money, basically with the same system that I'm using. And they would tell me, wow, your work ethic is like up here, because every single day I'm showing up, every single day I'm creating videos. And they just didn't have that, and that's really hard to teach somebody. Like when somebody doesn't really get it or doesn't have that work ethic, it's really hard for them to actually learn that. Like how do you teach somebody that, right? So that's how I've been basing most of my strategies, to be honest. And then as far as like the technical side of it, is just literally what everybody else is doing, making a TikTok, Snap TikTok app, put it on Instagram, put it on Facebook, everywhere else. And accounts do blow up just by staying consistent. Like there's not really like a secret sauce or something, So that's just what I do.
Yeah. And for me, when we go back to earlier in this conversation, I was asking you the timeline that your success with Legendary Marketer was. And you ended up saying you got about a 2-year run out of it, or at least 1.5 years run out of it. And to me, that's a pretty magnificent run, because I'm assuming at the time you were running traffic to some sort of bridge page to the VSL, right?
Right. And it's funny thing is, it was your bridge page.
Right. Yeah. I think that bridge page, I'm not ashamed to say, has probably done several $1 million over the course of everybody who used it. But anyways, the point I'm getting at is when I do that. So I'll start with a new campaign or a new product or a new whatever, and run that simple content to bridge page to email follow-up sequence. What I have found is I get right around from the point where it starts picking up and like, okay, we're taking off here, to the point where it starts going down. I found it's right around 8 to 10 months. Right. So it's like, yeah, okay. You kind of ride the wave for that amount of time. And then it's like, oh, it's starting to go down. I better do something before I drop down to, $5,000 a month again, or whatever it is. So for me, the way I've been able to differentiate myself, and I've been doing this since 2016, is I follow the free course model, where I give away a free course just with my content, obviously to generate leads, but also to build trust, and more importantly, to build the confidence in my leads that they can go do the thing. Because everybody wants to buy something that changes their lives, but really they don't feel confident in themselves. They think, well, if I buy this, it won't work for me. So when they go in through a free course, not only do I generate more leads than typical, not only does my content tend to perform better because people are actually watching the content, opting in, engaging with my videos, but I also get a pretty high conversion rate, because people are like, all right, maybe I can do this. And that's allows me to get more longevity over my promotional period, meaning years instead of months. And the other thing it does is it allows me to kind of create more clickbaity content with strong call to actions. Every video I have is come get the free course, because I can rely on the free course to build the trust, right? I don't have to build trust on social media. I can just be like, clickbait, boom, come get it. And then they're like, oh, they get to know me as they go through my course. My free courses are, what I found is 8 modules, 8 short modules tends to be the sweet spot. Obviously, I start by building them up, building them confidence. Then the middle 6 or 7 videos, 5, 6 or 7 videos is going to be like teaching skills and giving them confidence and really showing them how simple it can be. And then obviously the final video is a sales video for the most part. And that has just continued to work really well for me. I started in 2016 when I was promoting Shopify and blew my account up on YouTube. I created the Shopify course thinking, all right, I'll sell a Shopify course, realized I didn't have an audience, gave it away for free, and just made a whole crap ton of Shopify commissions as well as back end stuff as well. So that's when I'm like, oh, this really works. And that's what I'm currently doing to sell my program right now. It's a free course that kind of just acts like an extended webinar, really, and it works really well.
That's so interesting, because one of the most common objections I get whenever people are before they try to sign up is that they don't know if they can do it, and so you've pretty much just capitalized on that feeling and just reassuring them to sell more, which I think that's just a great strategy.
Yeah. And however you do it, it's really been the secret is, I say people will follow you when they believe in you, but they will buy when they believe in themselves. And that really has pretty much been everything. That, as well as thinking win-win, are the 2 kind of philosophies or principles that I've used to really make a majority of my money. Hey, if I can build out this system for you, will you use it? Right. You know what I mean? Then I get the commissions on the software that the system is built on. Obviously, they get the software to go start the thing. But then it's like, okay, cool. Now I need to buy the next thing in order to advance my career. And really, the other thing it does is it gets people to invest something. Not everybody's ready to invest money up front when they see somebody right away. But if I can get them to go through a free course, which is always the challenge, to get them actually to take action on the free course, then they're investing time. And once they have time invested, now they're like, well, I've invested this much time on already. I may as well invest money to speed things up.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's how some of these webinars work too. With Philip's old funnel, for example, you'd sign up, opt in, and then it's like a 2-hour video of him just saying basic affiliate marketing is this. And it's just like a Google definition. And so it's like, well, once they've invested that much time, they will probably buy more than likely, because they've wasted too much time for it to just turn into nothing now. And especially, that with this target audience, they don't have much time. Time is a valuable resource for these people who are struggling. So you take that away from them, and they're just like even more susceptible to buying whatever you're talking about.
Yeah, they've invested the thing they have the least of. And you obviously know Dave Sharp from your time with Legendary Marketer, and he always cracks me up anytime I'm talking with him. He always talks about Tony Robbins and how Tony Robbins will sit you in a room and he'll keep you there for 12 hours a day for 3 days straight, and by the end of day 3 you're just like, dude, we'll give you $3,000 just to let us out of this room now. He just wears you down. It's like you're not even making logical decisions anymore. You're just like, yep, all right, this must be what I'm supposed to do. Here's my money. Let's go home. I'll invest in your product.
Yeah, it's funny. Years ago, my dad took me to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
to
10
the
years
Tony
ago.
Robbins.
To Tony Robbins. I walked on the fire, the whole thing. It's funny.
What do you think about that experience? Looking back,
looking back, I do think it I ingrained like positive mindsets into me, especially, since I was at a younger age. I think it, maybe even responsible for some of the success that I've had because I was like instilled at such a younger age. But we left before day 3. We just left because it was starting to get a little weird. Okay. Now, there's controversy that Tony Robbins does some hypnosis and stuff like that, but there was some weird stuff going on towards the end of day 2. So we kind of just left. But when I came back, I was in such a positive mindset that I was like, I didn't even care. I was like, for a couple of years, I was just like, I could do anything. I felt invincible for years after that because I had achieved that. Because he really makes you believe, hey, you can go across this coal of fire, not burn yourself, and if you can do that, then you can pretty much achieve anything.
It's really interesting. I'd tell a quick story. My daughter, she plays basketball. She's 10 now, and she's on a really good basketball team now, and they play year round, so that's cool. But a couple years ago, she was on a not as good basketball team to the point where they lost every single game that they played. But anyways, I was at Funnel Hacking Live 2021, and Tony Robbins closed that out. And I kind of had that same thing when I left. I was like, man, I don't know what just happened. It was the weirdest thing I've ever done, but like I feel like I can do anything. So I got home. A couple days later, my daughter had a game. I think it was her second to last game or last game on the season, and I pulled some of that Tony Robbins crap on her. It was the only game they won all seasons. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it's like there's something to it. But yeah, it gets kind of weird. So
it does.
It's crazy. So let's I don't want to cut you off there, but I also don't want to jeopardize or take up too much of your time here. I don't know what else you have going on. So if you want to lead us out, please do, or if Andre has anything else, please jump in. But before we get too far into it, how do people track you down, Tyler? I mean, we already know Instagram and Facebook. Is that the best way to kind of get after you and see what you're all about and this offer that you got going on right now?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, just Instagram at Tyler Z Wise or just Tyler Wise on Facebook. Those are the only two avenues. Don't even go to my TikTok. Don't go to TikTok.
I don't even worry about that. Awesome. Well, yeah, we'll make sure we put your links in the description so everybody can find you. And yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
It's a pleasure having you, man.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can just take us out really quickly, like the one sentence philosophy that you have, or the one, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I want to put you on the spot here, and we'll edit it out if we have to. But, what would you tell someone who's kind of in that phase where they're in the panic mode, like you said you were in between those two successes? What or something that you tell all people that really resonates with folks? Got anything for us to take us out?
Remember what you've achieved. Look back. Look at you've definitely probably got, for me, I had this high. I was going through, Legendary Marketer, making tens of thousands of dollars. And I think I just forgot that. I forgot, you know what? Maybe I do know what I'm doing. Maybe I just need to switch things up, So that's for me. That's the best advice. Just don't forget what you've accomplished. Don't forget what made you who you are now. And just go back. Sometimes you just got to go back and remove those emotions.
Yeah, I think that's great advice because
I hate emotions.
Yeah, I think that's great advice because I'll tell you right now, if you're listening to this podcast, first of all, thank you for making it to the end with us. You might be in a situation where you haven't seen the success yet. And if you are in that situation, remember Tyler's advice, because you will find success. And I promise you, it will disappear and you'll have to build it back up again at some point. So that's fantastic advice. Tyler, Andre, it's been a great episode. Everybody who's listening, thank you very much. We'll see you all on the next episode of the Evolved Marketing Podcast.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.